Dear friends, I want to wish you all a Shabbat Shalom. And this Shabbat, we're going to be reading the Torah portion of Shemos, which is the beginning of the second book of the Torah. And there's a very powerful message for all times, but especially now in our times, modern times, and especially now in a lockdown as well. It has a message of how we can behave and use this opportunity. And that is that when Pharaoh started to enslave the Jews, the first thing he did after he got them into working for nothing was that he targeted the youth. I want to make sure that Jewish youth are not growing up to be Jewish. So he said, let the girls live, because the girls will be influenced by the society around them. In those days especially, they didn't have any independence. But the boys, the Jewish boys, kill them. Throw them in the Nile River. Get rid of them. And Pharaoh went to the Jewish mothers, the midwives, and he said, it's going to be your responsibility to make sure that a Jewish child is not growing up as a Jew. Both the girls will be influenced to just accept their Egyptian culture and become like the Egyptians, and the boys get rid of so they will not have that independence and rebel against me. His battle was against the youth because he knew that Jewish adults, they may be upset, they may be angry, but they're older, they'll learn to live with what is coming their way, they'll survive. But youth, where there's truth, where there's ideology, where youth have passion, it will be very hard to break them unless I either get rid of them or I totally influence them in the ways of the Egyptians. And the midwives went on self-sacrifice. And they made sure that the mothers gave birth to the children in a safe way and in a hiding place that Pharaoh would not know and wasn't able to find them. And that brought up a whole nation of young people who were the ones who defied Pharaoh and walked out of Egypt with their heads high. Though they were slaves for 210 years, or living in a foreign land, slaves for some of it, they walked out with their heads high, proud of who they are, because the youth were the key to the survival of the Jewish people. And this is so important for us as well, because very often we let our youth be influenced by all the outside influences. Let them watch TV and on the Netflix and all the other shows that are going on, and follow different people on Twitter and Instagram, and be influenced by all types of people that are influencing them how to think and how to survive and how to live and what is important, and not putting in the time and effort to figure out how we can educate them and bring them up as proud Jews, bring them up as knowledgeable Jews, bring them up as people who understand where they come from and where they're heading to, and how lucky they are that they're part of a great people with such a history and with such a mission and such success and so much ability to transform the world and to be revolutionaries and leaders, rather than just follow what everyone else is doing. This is what we have to spend our time and effort and put in everything we can to make this happen. You know, and today is the yard site of the Alter Rebbe, the first Chabad Rebbe, on Friday. And the Alter Rebbe is a famous story that his son, who became the next Rebbe, Rav Dov Ber, after he passed away. So when he just got married, he had a young child. He was once studying, and Rav Dov Ber, when he used to study, he was so engrossed in his study, he didn't hear anything around him, and his baby must have fallen out of the crib or the bed and started to cry. And the Alter Rebbe lived downstairs, and Rav Dov Ber lived upstairs. And the Alter Rebbe heard a baby crying, and no one was taking care of the baby. So he goes upstairs, and he sees his son engrossed in study, while next to him in the bed or the crib where the baby was lying, and the baby's on the floor now. So he picks up the baby, soothes the baby, and taps his son. The son is like shocked. He says, "What's going on?" He says, "Do you know that your baby was crying?" He says, "Oh, I was learning. I was so deep in my learning, I didn't know." So he said, "Remember one thing, that even when you're steeped in great spiritual experiences, always hear the cry of a child, a Jewish child especially. Every Jewish child is crying to have a connection to Hashem. Every Jewish child wants to feel proud and part of something special. They're carrying the most incredible treasure of history and invested in them. Let's not allow the Pharaoh's decree that we let our children become immune and insensitive to spirituality and to faith. Let's give them as much as we can of spirituality and faith, of Jewish experiences. So as we're locked down now, we're going even to a worse lockdown. We're going to spend more time with our children. Even Lego recognizes that school is so important. Maybe that should be a lesson to us, to recognize that use this time to spend with your child and experience Judaism at home. Make Judaism a home experience. This Shabbat, next Shabbat, every night say Shema with your children. Do a prayer before you eat. Make this month that we're going into a time when you will connect with your child and give them Judaism at home where it really counts. Give it into their guts, into their kishkas. That's how we fight Pharaoh of that time. That's how we fight the Pharaohs of our day. And we ensure a future Jewish people, a Jewish tomorrow. When there's a Jewish today for the children, there's a Jewish tomorrow. So God bless you all. We have the strength, we'll make through all the difficulties and challenges that we have and the lockdowns, but let's use it the time in the right way. And let's be infused by what the Yocheved and Miriam went to self-sacrifice to keep the Jewish child, the Jewish passion, the Jewish love, the Jewish heart alive. So we love you all, God bless you all. Candlelighting time in Montreal this week, 4:11 p.m.